want to show you something now that is really, this is really interesting, and it's a very straightforward thing to do. Because, you know, I've been showing you all these things about playing in you know, harmonizing scales. That has a certain sound, and I've been saying to you, you know, that these you can start hearing these sounds and understanding them. But it's always good to throw in other ingredients, and I've explained to you that I'm really basically a melodic improviser. But if you only do that, if you only make everything very melodic and pretty, that's what it is. We need to sometimes bring other elements in that to add a little bit more of an edge. And one of the great things to do is like parallel fourths. You know, the guitar's tuned to fourths. You know that sound, you've heard that. Whenever I hear that, I always think of the great piano player McCoy Tyner. Some of the things with Miles Davis, and you had all these kind of sounds. Now, you can break up the prettiness of some of this sound by throwing some of these in. So, you know, if I was to play using those tenths, I can do that instead. See, where I've got a C, or either C or here with the E, I can play the C. I can play that. Instead of playing a G7th or a G13th. These kind of more edgy kind of sounds. The great thing about this as well, it works really well with the guitar. One of the things about the guitar that can be a problem playing jazz is that nothing falls under the fingers. When you look at blues and rock guitar playing, that music was created on the guitar. The guitar is central to it. In jazz, the guitar is just one of the many instruments that you can play jazz on. So jazz lines and phrasing and everything isn't designed for the instrument. You just have to find a way of doing it. But these parallel fourths are something that, look at that, it's so easy on the guitar. You just put your finger, make a bar. And in solo playing, it's one of the reasons I use it a lot, apart from the effect that it gives and another color, an ingredient that it gives within what I'm playing is, look at that, it frees these fingers up. I could go. So instead of playing, if I was to play this parallel fourth instead, I've got these three fingers to do all kinds of. And that's very much inside harmonization. You've got very close intervals of fourths. It's very close. And when you get intervals that are close like that, whereas we've got these open intervals, you know, with the 12ths tenths we've been doing, that has a very open feel. When you start putting intervals very closely together, like in intervals of fourths, look at the difference. That's closed, it's closed, and it's a darker sound. So if I want a kind of darker sound to come in somewhere, if I was going to do, but if I want a darker kind of sound, you can see the difference that makes. And it's a great thing to use alongside all the other things that we've been doing, all the other intervals that we've been practicing. If you just throw those in, it just adds another dimension. It's another color. If we go back to our painting analogy, it's like we've got a whole other array of colours on our artist palette that we can draw on. It's one of these things you can just move around, and when you want to move away from playing in improvising in a very melodic way, and you want to start taking things out a little bit more, parallel fourths are fantastic. You get all these kind of sounds. This is another one. These are inside voicings, very, very darker sounding, whereas all the others I've been playing, they're kind of very bright, open sounds. Remember, this is all to do with creating atmosphere and telling stories, and this is, parallel fourths is another thing for you to add within your repertoire and your musical vocabulary. So now that I've shown you these parallel fourths, it'd be great if you could incorporate those in some of your solo playing and in some of your improvisations. And just find little spots, just kind of go very easy on that. Just find little places where you think they may fit, where you feel you need a kind of an edgier kind of sound. So if you want to make a video, send me a video of you playing something you've played before, or some of the things you've been playing earlier, and incorporate some of these parallel fourths. That would be great. I'd love to hear that. I'd love to see that, and I'll do a video response.